Hey folks, Mike from LI Flies Mike here, and today we're going to be tying a fly that everyone should know if you like throwing larger flies for big fish. As always, the full list of materials will be down in the description below. We're going to start by tying our flat wing tail here. We'll take some bucktail and tie this in right around where the hook point is, making sure we secure it down nice and strong. Next we'll take a long, slender saddle hackle and tie that on flat. Now you can always use a traditional style feather tail or tentha hackle, but I usually prefer to do flat wing tails. Tie one more long thin white hackle on top of this one, flat again, this time increasing the length slightly, followed by a pink and then blue feather as well. You can always switch up the colors, even going with an all white or all black or all pink version. I just chose to use these colors because I've been tying a lot of herring colored flies. Again, ensuring to keep the feathers are flat and slowly increasing the length of the feathers. That way it'll give us a nice natural taper to it and give us some great action in the water. Next up, we'll take some Flashaboo here, or whatever sort of flash you like or prefer, it doesn't really matter. And I'm using some pink and holographic blue flash here. I just take this, put it in a loop, and then put that right over the hook shank and tie it in right where the tail is. Taking some head cement, coating the thread wraps here, ensuring that this fly will be durable. Now moving up the hook shank slightly, we're going to start tying on our bucktail collars, tying on an even amount of white bucktail top and bottom. And I like to have this bucktail come about 2/3 of the way back of the fly, just to create a nice even taper. Using my thumb here to make sure that the material lays down flat and where I like it. The whole idea is we're slowly going to shorten the length and continue tying bucktail collars up the hook shank, achieving the profile and shape that we like. Again, make sure your bucktail is even on the top and bottom and on the sides. So now using some super glue here, I'm going to help ensure that this fly will be durable and that the thread won't slip on us or break. We're just going to coat that evenly. Again, moving slightly forward here, we're going to tie another even amount of white bucktail top and bottom, this time slightly shortening the length of the bucktail. We're going to start creating that nice even taper. Again, ensuring that we have an even amount of bucktail top and bottom. You can add a little bit more bucktail to the top if you'd like. I try to keep it fairly even. And then I just slowly spread it around on the sides, trying to keep most of it on the top and bottom. Now, depending on the size and profile you're trying to achieve, you're going to continue tying bucktail collars, working your way up the hook shank. slowly shortening the length of the hair to try and achieve that nice natural taper. Now for the second to last collar here, I am going to be tying white on top, but I'm only using half of the amount that I did for the bottom. And the other half I'm going to be using some light pink bucktail here to start adding some color to the fly. Now an optional but great choice is adding some angel hair or winning flash in the appropriate colors on the top and bottom of the previous bucktail collars, and this will add some dimension and some additional flash to the fly. And take a fine wire brush and just brush the fly now and just clean up that material. It'll help that material blend in nicely with the bucktail. Now I'm choosing to take some Ostrich Herl here. You can use Hackle or Ostrich Herl. And I'm going to use white for the belly, pink for up top, and this is just going to create some nice movement in the belly and give some nice dimension to the fly as well. Ostrich Herl has amazing movement in the water, and it layered underneath our last bucktail collar is just going to give us some nice movement and action to the fly. Now moving just behind the hook eye, we're leaving a slight gap here. Tie in your last bucktail collar, and we're using white for the belly and light blue for the top. Again, each bucktail collar, we're slowly shortening the length of the material. You can always add more top and bottom to ensure you have the profile that you're looking for. Now I'm taking some navy blue bucktail and adding that on top to give it a little bit of a darker topping here, followed up by just a little bit more white bucktail on the bottom just to keep it even. Now before we throw some eyes on here, we're just going to finish off the fly with some Peacock Herl. It's kind of a traditional way with striper flies and a lot of bass and streamer flies. Just put a darker topping on there just to give it some nice color. Using some tab eyes or whatever sort of tie-on eyes you prefer, we're going to add a little bit of light to the fly now, tying these on here right behind the thread head. I will say though, a lot of times I don't use eyes myself and the fish don't seem to mind, so there's nothing wrong with not putting any eyes on a Bucktail Deceiver or hollow fly for that matter. But if you have some, feel free to tie them in there if you want. We'll throw a whip finish on here and some head cement to lock it down, and this fly is good to go. The Bucktail Deceiver by Bob Popvics, a legend in the fly tying community who will be missed dearly. Rest in peace, Bob Popvics. He is probably one of the most influential fly tyers of all time in my opinion, and definitely my favorite fly tyer of all time. But check out his books Pop Flies and Fly Design if you want to learn more about his amazing patterns and techniques. Well, that's the BTD as I like to call it. My name is Mike from Li Flies Mike, and thank you for watching. We have new fly tying videos that come out every other day and live fly tying streams as well. So till next time, next video, thanks of course for watching, and tight lines.